Welcome to our lovely viewers of iDream. This is really a great experience. Just now we have completed watching our much expected and much awaited film Salar in the combination of the great director Prashant Neal and our magical hero Prabhas. We have just finished watching it. It is really, after seeing that, I love to share my opinions on this because from a very long time, people around the world have been really very interestingly waiting for this film with a lot of excitement over the combination because Prashant Neal previously did his KGF and Prabhas is first time combining with him for a theatrical venture. People normally look forward to a great experience in theaters and the unprecedented extravaganza which they experienced in KGF 2. That is a not natural and normal course in the world of cinema. Now that after watching and after completing watching the film, it is really, I came to really deliver this episode of mine to all of you with a great interest and after really succumbing to such a great experience in theater, one has to really watch the film to really enjoy at length I can say. Because this is a film, normally we do not expect this kind of screenplay or this kind of characterizations or this kind of a sequence of events that was properly articulated in the film. That is something in lines with the Hollywood films. We don't expect in Indian films in any given language normally. That has been really given us just a hint or a taste of it in KGF 2. But certainly Salar's presentation is on a much higher scale really when it comes to the point of that humongous presentation of heroism, an immaculate heroism and a peerless heroism. You can watch it because Prabhas, of course, as an individual hero, as an individual entity, he has added so much to the film with all his swag and with his body language and with his screen presence and everything. All put together, the Salar Ceasefire 1, Part 1, is, it is completely designed into a great experience of that fills excitement in every heart and enthusiasm for the next scene to come. All that is, in such a way that was presented in all the 3 hours of the duration of the film. You don't really feel any kind of a lag anywhere because when it is given to watch a film of that duration of 3 hours, normally audience at some point of time or at some given time may feel that it is lagging these 5 minutes or it could have been bit faster for the film to be enjoyed much in a better fashion. But here the very plus point and merit of the film is in all the 3 hours of the screen narrative, at no point the audience feel that inconvenience of that lengthy narration on screen. Because the film is completely studded with such pulsating sequences and intriguing run through, all that make you 100% yield to this kind of an experience. Audience all over the world today, the reports are telling us and demonstrating that the film has presented them with a great experience which they have never experienced in the past. Certainly, because the film is of its first of its kind and never before or never after kind of a feeling that really gifts you with. The main merit of the film is, in the first half of the film, Prashant Neal has been very cautiously working on that first half because he has introduced all the characters, all the basic information about the story. Of course, Prabhas always in the first half, he remains silent and there were no much of dialogues like harangues and diatribe and there is a great length of dialogues. Such kind of experience is not presented on the screen through the characterization of Prabhas. Prabhas is completely silent, reticent and he kept himself nowhere. He interrupted with the film. Now, to that extent, Prashant Neal as a director has been cautious enough in organizing the film. In the first half, there is nothing really you will be you will get the introduction of all the characters and all the sequences, and the story runs very soft, and you do not find any kind of a heroism that is normally expected of Prabhas in the first half. And there may be a doubt also why Prabhas is so silent and is not getting into action that is expected of him. That kind of an astonishment may really puzzle the world of audience in the first half, because whole the story is completely organized in the second half, of like that of a healthy film. Because if there is a success film, you can watch any film. In the first half, there will be locks, and there will be some kind of plots. There will be some kind of arrangements for the second half to go faster and heavy. Prashant Neal has demonstrated that quality or that art of making a film in first half and second half. He has been completely thorough with what he has been presenting on the screen, that you can make out in every scene, in every characterization, in every dialogue. And there won't be, I will tell you, in the entire film, there won't be more than 10 to 15 pages of dialogues. The film is completely about action, not about dialogues and words. Action in the sense, not violence. It is about the characters, how they do, what they do, and how they involve in the second half, the intrigues and strife, that conspiracies, that all shadow the kingdom and the fort exclusively. That part has been very seriously dealt by Prashant Neal. We must really appreciate the director in that respect, because as I told you, you do not expect this kind of presentation in Indian films normally. This will certainly stand as first of its kind. And when it comes to the, as I told you, when it comes to the first half, it will be completely about the information of the story, and the characters will come in order, in sequence, one by one, and they introduce themselves to the audience. And the second half, the complete, this film very much starts with the introduction of the bond between two childhood friends. When there is a nose ring that was removed from the friend's nose, just for the sake of telling him that he does not hold any power in the kingdom, then the childhood Prabhas, Deva, he rises to the occasion, and he will stake his life and invite all the peril and danger in saving the sovereignty of his friend. And he does it he does that what do you call act with all the gallantry and with all the he does it with a lot of courage. In the sense, he stands for his friend. That is where the whole story takes off. Later at the request, at the entreat of his friend, Deva and mother leaves that area or that kingdom and flocks to another area to live peacefully, from avoiding the clutches of the villains on them. But when it comes to the point of second of the story, when the friend Prithviraj is in complete danger of his life and power, everything, then Prithviraj goes along to Prabhas to request him to come back to rescue him from the perils that he is going to face from the circles of his kingdom or from the forte, from his own kith and kin. Then Prabhas, all the while, at the instance of his mother, comes back to Kansar. And from then on, the story gets into full gear. And the violence that is imparted in the film is not just unreasonable or without a cause. There is a cause. When Prabhas, the hero, resorts to violence, there is a particular reason. There is a substantial cause for the hero to resort to that violence. When a small girl was subjected to molestation and about to be completely destroyed by a villain in the film, then the character of Prabhas, Deva, rises to the occasion and comes forward in such a way that it will hit the auditoriums with his action mode. He completely mastered Prabhas. His presence itself is a great phenomena on screen, you can enjoy that. When Prabhas character Deva comes and completely destroys the enemies and saves the girl, the tribal folk comes forward and sing in joy and sing in celebration and sing in praise of Prabhas. And he then goes forward to decimate all the villains in that. I do not know why CBFC has given that A certificate. I do not know, because when violence is meant for violence, when it is not really concerned with the main story, when it is not related with the main sequences in the film, then they call it a certificate just for the reason of violence in the film. But in this film, the violence has all the reason why it happened, why it came onto the surface. There is every reason story-wise. Don't you accept when a girl is going to be molested or going to be completely devastated by somebody's atrocious nature of a villain, then if the hero does not rise and hit them down or beat them to pulp, will you accept that is a heroism? But in this film, Prashant Neal has done it exceedingly well, and he has crafted the heroism in such a way that he stands for women folk. And then he stands for his friend. Then he stands for the word of the mother. And three angles of heroism is properly put together to elevate the face of the film. You will 100% enjoy the second half with the greatest amount of interest put in that. And even critics also cannot point out against anything in the film that this is not good, that is not good. The film so heavily, it has so heavily engaged the auditoriums. There was never of course, there were encores, there were shouts, there were whistles when Prabhas is coming to hit the villains and all that. That is the stamp of commercial heroism in any given language. But you don't expect this kind of a presentation in any Bollywood film. It is going to be a wonderful experience for the world of fans and world of audience as well. Not only in India, because the film is released in 5 languages: Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam and Hindi. In all the languages all over the world. So the world has been waiting. This is a humongous presentation of peerless heroism, and it is a pulsating watching what happens in the next scene, what Prabhas is really going to perform. Because knowing fully well what exactly is happening in and around the fort and in around the kingdom, when audience know fully well about it, they 100% to watch for the next scene to come. This has been a wonderful experience. It did not happen in a normal level. Hombale Productions have really invested so much on that, so much of money, because otherwise the film would have not really gained that kind of a gorgeous dimension which we have experienced in the theaters. It is the same with every language, everywhere, every center, in all the areas that Salar has been released today, as an absolute wonderful and a matchless experience, I'm telling you. This you can watch the film. Everybody can just clapping watch the film, and they will 100% to carry a lot of good memories and good feelings from Salar to their homes. I can just say that it will 100% stand or mark an event in both the lives, the Prabhas and Prashant Neal also, because there was a lot of expectation. It was the first ever, as I told you, first ever combination of Prashant Neal and Prabhas. The whole world is just on toes to see the film, and they are completely satisfied. And when one will get very easily and naturally and obviously get impressed with the performance of the film at the end in total, I can say that. And for every language, Prabhas will certainly has completely unveiled and unsheathed his humongous nature, his quality, his complexion, everything as a hero has been properly showcased, demonstrated in the film by the director. Director, to that extent, he has been highly successful in bringing out all the amount of histrionics that Prabhas is endowed with naturally, and a right film, a right character, and a right presentation on screen. It is going to be a wonderful, it will stand, as I told you, it will stand as an event in all the coming days for Indian films, and it will 100% stand in par with all the Hollywood films. There is no doubt about it. You can just watch and enjoy. There are no unnecessary songs in the film. They did not even try to plan a single song in the film. They made a story, they made good sequences, they made good heroism in the film. According to that, they completely went with the screen narrative for 3 hours, where you will enjoy every bit of it. And I personally congratulate all the Prabhas fans and in general cinema lovers, because this kind of an experience has been long awaited. Now today, total festival is open for all the world of cinema, and people are just thronging the theaters to see the film and to gallop with the celebrations. Really fantastic, and I personally congratulate once again Prabhas and Prashant, Neal and Home Ballet Productions, because they have attempted such a film, believing what Prashant, Neal can really show on the screen, and they believed everything and they have invested, and now that they are reaping the harvest of all those those fundamental results of gaining and